First thing to do when you see a question like this is to just read it and read it carefully, look at any pictures and try to understand where this fits in with the science that you've learnt. Now it says Alex has a 100 centimetre ruler pivoted at the centre, which you see at the picture. She ties a balloon filled with carbon dioxide 16 centimetres from the pivot as shown below, again referring to the picture. The total weight of the balloon and the carbon dioxide is 0.6 newtons. So this is clearly something about turning forces, or in other words moments, so we'll probably have to do some calculation. Now let's just look at the picture. You can see this is a pivot here, the centre part of the ruler. You can imagine that the ruler would turn about this in clockwise or anti-clockwise directions. Now what's going to pull that round? What's going to pull that round is the weight of the balloon, which is pulling down like this, slightly to the right of the pivot. Now if you can imagine, that would try to turn round the ruler in that direction, in other words clockwise. And in the absence of any other weight, you can see why it's unbalanced, as it's mentioned in the first part of the question. Okay, the ruler becomes unbalanced. Calculate the turning moment of the balloon produced about the pivot on the ruler. Give the unit. Now, an important thing in questions like this is to look at the number of marks. You can see 2. So the calculation with 1 mark, the unit will be the second mark. Okay, right, calculation. Moments calculated by multiplying the turning force, in this case 0.06 newtons, by the distance from the pivot, okay, which is given as 16 centimetres. Just plugging that into a calculator gives you the answer of 0.96. So that's the first part of our answer. So it's 0.96. Now moving on to the second part. The second part is for the units. Now you do with the units exactly as you did with the numbers. So it's newtons times centimetres. Both were given. Newtons for the weight, centimetres for the distance. So the unit is newtons centimetres. We normally leave out the times sign. So Newton centimetres. And there we are. Both things done, 2 marks.